I have always said that Africa unity is the only way we can move forward, because if you look through Africa, you see that many African countries are very small. Many African countries do not have the bargaining power to stand on their own. Just imagine a country like Guinea or Togo going to negotiate a deal with a country like China. China is a very massive country. So, how do you think that a country like Togo can negotiate a good deal with China? So, if the continent unites and become one and speak with one voice, I think we are going to have enough leverage that is going to make us have enough bargaining power. There are a lot of things going on in Africa that sometimes when you think about them or when you really give them some thought, they don't really make sense. Take, for example, the colonial influence in Africa and how they partition African countries into smaller pieces so that it's easy for these countries to be controlled by the colonial masters. And since they left, Africa hasn't moved that much. It's like Africa is still crawling on the same place. And many of the things that happens in Africa, we know for sure that there are foreign hands involved. But also, the Africans are part of the problem. The Africans cannot be left without any blames, because many other countries around the world were colonized by the British, the French, the Portuguese, and so on and so forth. And these countries, many of them have moved on. Many of them are developing. Their economic are doing great. Many of them, the people have the basics. They have food, they have water, they have electricity, they have good roads. But why is the case of Africa different? French had colonies in Asia. We have Vietnam, we have Cambodia, we have Laos. All these were French colonies in Asia. But look at where they are now. Vietnam is a fast developing country. Same with Laos, same with Cambodia. These countries, they all have good roads, they all have constant electricity and good healthcare system. But we have countries in West Africa, Benin, Togo, Ivory Coast, Mali. Even in Central Africa, we have Chad, Gabon, Central African Republic. All these countries were French colonies in Africa. Look at where they are now. None of them can boast of a good road network. None of them can boast of a universal healthcare. None of them can boast of a constant electricity throughout the country. None. You also have British colonies like Singapore, Malaysia, India, and most of the countries in the Middle East. They all used to belong under the British realm. But look at where they are now. They are well developed. With what? With just oil and gas. But look at Nigeria, with all its oil reserve, with all its population, still yet cannot go anywhere. Still yet cannot have constant electricity throughout the country. Still yet cannot provide the people with good roads. My brothers and sisters, there is a problem in Africa, and until all of us, the Africans, look ourselves in the eye and ask the real question, we will not go anywhere. All this talking by our leaders is just like cosmetic. Until we have a frank and honest discussion as to what is going on in Africa, my brothers and sisters, we won't go anywhere, because I believe it's long past time we stop blaming foreigners for our own problems and fix our continent by ourselves. We Africans are the problem. We Africans are good at backstabbing each other. Just to give you a few examples, Patrice Lumumba was betrayed and backstabbed by someone he trusted. And even Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana was also backstabbed by someone whom he trusted. And recently, Muammar Gaddafi of Libya was taken out by NATO while the AU sat there and watched, and they did nothing. African Union, all 53 members of them, sat there and watched while Libya was being shattered, while Libya was being destroyed. They did nothing, and they went on with business like usual. It's a big shame. It's a big shame. So we Africans, we must all look ourselves in the eye, like I have said before, and ask ourselves the honest question. Where do we want to be? And how are we going to get there? Until we ask ourselves those questions, we are not going anywhere. So my brothers and sisters in Africa and from Africa, do you think we still need to keep this narrative of blaming outsiders for all our problems? Don't you think that we are old enough to be responsible for ourselves and our destiny? Don't you think we are knowledgeable enough not to let outsiders influence our decisions? Please, kindly share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. Thank you very much for watching this video, and like always, see you in the next one.